things here. What is this countdown up top? 207, 30. Anyway, okay. Some random musings about the comfort zone. Asha and I were chatting earlier today and about one of our friends who was talking about wanting to leave her comfort zone. And Asha and I were like, well, later when Asha was talking to me about it, why? Why is everybody so hard pressed to leave the comfort zone? And so, what I'm going to talk about, you know, some may call it semantics. You may prefer to look at it like tomato, tomato. But I'm a real big fan of just reframing thoughts because one thing I've learned through a few decades of living and also quite a few years of therapy is sometimes all you need to do is reframe your thoughts. So, I don't know, maybe you'll feel like I'm just saying a bunch of nonsense, but viewing it this way really did something for me today, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, a lot of people will say, you've got to leave your comfort zone. You've got to leave your comfort zone. Everything you want out of life is on the other side of your comfort zone. And to that, I say, meh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Actually, hold on, I'm thirsty. Okay. What if What if everything that you're looking for, everything we're all looking for, is on the inside of our comfort zone, is our comfort zone? And again, these might just be random ramblings and musings, but this rabbit hole did something for me. So, on the off chance that it might do something for you too, just stick with me, trust the process, okay? What if what we're really seeking is the comfort zone? So, a lot of people might look at my life and say, oh my God, you left the cult, everybody you ever knew, your church family. Like you moved states even before that. Like I moved 6.5, 7 hours away from my family where I grew up to go to college in Virginia. Like that was leaving your comfort zone. You joined a cult. Nah, you didn't know it was a cult. But then when you realized that you left your whole like support system. Then even after that, you left your marriage, you left a secure job, you left, a dual income household, this relationship, the father of your child. Um, you left your career, you left your comfort zone. But to that I say, and anyone who knows my story, I guess, and for anyone who doesn't, at home where I was in South Carolina, that was not comfortable. Staying in the house with my narcissistic mom was not comfortable. I was looking for something. I was looking for something. Then, when I realized I was in a cult and I realized that my voice was being stifled, I was not comfortable. I couldn't stay. I had to leave. I was searching for, hey, friend, I was searching for my comfort. Then, when my eyes opened to my marriage, like, uh-oh, I got married in a cult, and so I didn't really know this person that I married, and this person that I married didn't really know me because I wasn't even free to be myself. So this marriage that we've created was um it was founded on like two people who were sending out their representatives to marry each other. But now that I've left the cult and I'm my more authentic self, and now that he's leaning into his authenticity, these two people never got married. These two people never agreed to do life together. And so that's not comfortable. And I had to leave to search to find love for myself and peace in my home, the type of peace that I wanted. And if I do, I even want a relationship, I need to find what is that comfort. And then in my job, oh my gosh, that was such a scary, scary, scary transition. But even after leaving my one position, which that was not comfortable either, run by my in-laws and founded in that cult atmosphere, and then learning what I didn't like, it's like, oh, I could just quickly go back into a classroom, but I don't want to leave a life that's not comfortable and then hop into recreating another lifestyle that's not comfortable. I know I'm going to hate being back in the classroom in that capacity, at least right now, because I'm burnt out and it doesn't fit what I'm trying to do with my life. And I had to hold out, which some may say, like, well, that was leaving your comfort zone. It wasn't comfortable, but I would say it was less about leaving my comfort zone and more about facing resistance on the way to my comfort zone. Right? Is that making sense? Are you getting, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like, what if we are just in search of our comfort zone and everything that we face is resistance while we try to get there? Mm-hmm. Like the ladies' red table talk. So I think you should not want to just, thank you, friend. You should not want to just go run a 5K or a marathon just for the sake of it because it's not comfortable. I have no desire to do that. And I'm not going to do that just to be that type of person. However, if you are the type of person who really needs to be intensely and vigorously active in that way, maybe becoming a triathlete or a like someone who does triathlons. What are the decathlons? I don't know because I'm so not that person. Maybe you seeking that out is you seeking to get more in your comfort zone, to create a life that is more comfortable for you. And getting outside of your comfort zone is really just resistance. The resistance of carving out pockets of time in your day to run more and get grounded in nature and be with your body. It's the resistance of setting boundaries and telling people you can't have access to that time. That's my training time. It's the resistance of breaking your habits, which that's where I say it could be like tomato, tomato. Like, well, that's not comfortable. Yeah, but I feel like so many times wellness presenters and gurus and people in the self help space just put people in these extremely awkward and uncomfortable positions for the sake of being uncomfortable. And then you might gaslight yourself into thinking you have to show up and put your face on social media every day, or you have to cold call 500 people every single day, or you need to take a high intensity interval training class, or you need to go take boudoir photos just for the sake of being uncomfortable. But if it's not getting you closer to your dream, closer to what you want out of life, then like, what's the point? Life is already hard. Life is already hard. Don't make it harder by just doing random shit. For what? Because for why? Why are we doing this? Stop the insanity. And then you feel guilty. You might feel shame. You might feel small. You might feel not worthy, not bold enough, not like that type of person who gets to be successful, not dynamic enough because you're not willing to do the cha cha slide on a conference stage. For what? That doesn't make you a superstar. That doesn't mean you're CEO entrepreneur material. That doesn't mean you're a great artist. That doesn't mean you're a great friend. It just means you do random stuff. Like for me, let's see. I mean, I guess I described it earlier. That like I did all this hard stuff, but it was in search of creating my comfort zone. It was just all resistance. And I think people have taken the fact that resistance is going to come up against you. You're going to come up against resistance while trying to create the life you want. And so, in that sense, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for a little while, but don't lose sight of your specific end goal. Why can't we live life in our comfort zone? Besides capitalism and patriarchy, 40-hour work week, like poor health care, all that all that stuff. Why would we add extra limitations and stipulations on ourselves? Why are we just going to wake up and decide to do irrelevant, difficult things? Exactly. Why can't we live life in our comfort zone? Who among us does not like to be comfortable? But everybody's version of comfort looks different. Everybody's version of comfort looks different. So one person's version of comfort might be they love to go to work and dance as a warm up and icebreaker before meetings in the office. But that could make someone else utterly sick. They might want to create a business where, how about we all hide in our offices and read and drink tea or listen to whatever, and then we come out and sit quietly with our clipboards to start the meeting, and we all give each other a slight nod. Like there are some restaurants I heard where it's like you don't even talk and you don't interact with anybody. You just go in. I don't know. I didn't look into it, but like I know that there are some restaurants that are completely designed where you have no interaction because that is some people's comfort zone. The thought of having to interact is is just stressful to them. So they've created that environment. You don't have to go a while to get water. That is true. I'm not catching the connection, but that is true, and I am grateful for that. Um, so let's see. I don't know if I have anything else really to say here, but I just yeah, I don't know. You get all kinds of comments in these lives. Um, I just don't like people feeling guilted or shamed or like they're not enough. And I think when the topic of the comfort zone and everything you want out of life is on the other side of your comfort zone comes out, that's where this language kind of comes. And we start doing this like the should. I should do this. I should be more this. I should be more willing to do that. Why? Who said, thank you? They were a gift. Someone said they like my earrings. Um, yeah, why? For what? For who? Because explain to me why I can't be comfortable. So much of life is uncomfortable. I'm not going to go knock on random doors because you say that's what I need to do. I'm not going to do 75 hard because that's not something I desire to do. If that's what you want, if the body on the other side of that, if the lifestyle on the other side of that, if I don't know, you having read all of that on the other side of that creates this life that you're comfortable with, do it. You do 75 hard and I will cheer for you. Don't invite me. I'm not coming. I don't want to take a cold shower every day. I don't want to read a zillion pages every. I'm doing well enough in this season of life to feed myself on a regular basis, like to remember, and to move my laundry on time. So yeah, and that's for me. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you're watching the playback, what your thoughts are. And I guess we can have a discussion. What is your comfort zone? And for me, I really feel like I have gotten to a place where my life is so much of what I love. The world would be a better place if more people were able to work or live off of what they love. Oh, I know. I saw a post recently that was like, if all your needs were taken care of, like if money were not a factor, what would you do with your time? And so many people in the comments were like, oh, I would love to rescue animals. Someone else said they'd want to do like sanitation work, like pick up garbage and litter and things like that, that's what they would do for their free time. Of course, other people were like, I would cook. And I think it is so innate in us to want to contribute to society, to want to build up mankind, to want to give to each other in one way or another. But all of these restrictions and hardships and technicalities and things that make it so we can't just live off of what we love, that we can't make a livable wage and have a good quality of life, like not having to work until we're past exhausted. A demolition labor and love it. I bet that could be really therapeutic sometimes. I wanted to demolish the house that I lived in when I got separated, when we decided to get divorced, but we had to sell it. So I could not smash the walls in, but I wanted to. I wanted to a lot. Uh, I like would sit sometimes and envision it. And I was like, no, we gotta sell it. We gotta keep it up. But I was like, ugh! The house is full of lies. If you know, you know. Anybody who's been through it. So yeah, demolition labor. So many of us, we desire to do these things, but we are not able. So and live, yeah, with all the things that we need. But that's just really what I wanted to say. I think I'm very grateful that I was able to be intentional and sit and think a lot. And lovely hand gestures. That's sweet. Thank you, Eric. Um, and and even though it was painful, there was the resistance. I was very, very intentional. It was so hard. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And some may say that's being outside of your comfort zone. I wasn't uncomfortable, but I did not want, I knew several jobs I could apply for and get quickly, but I knew I wouldn't be happy. And I was like, I cannot go back. I cannot go back to feeling trapped. I cannot go back to feeling exhausted. I cannot go back to not feeling like I have um uh like no agency, no power, no flexibility. And yeah, I have another live stream I did about how knowing yourself is a superpower. And I think it's because I took the time to really learn myself through some different tools like human design, Myers-Briggs, astrology, and learning things that are important to me and seeing how that lined up with different decisions I made and the ways that I felt because of those decisions. I was like, if I'm here, if I'm going to be in the trenches, if I'm going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to be uncomfortable because I get the chance now. Like I just kind of went with the flow and other people's flow and just kind of accepted what was given to me. This route, this choice, that sure, sure, sure. And then I didn't realize I was like building myself into a cage that I built. I said, yes, I'll take that bar. Yes, I'll take this. Oh, you're going to give me a pillow to make my stay in here a little more comfy? Sure, I'll take it. And it wasn't until I fully like woke up one day and was like, oh my God, what have I done? Where am I? How did I get here? What is this? And moving forward, I was like, I would rather be poor. I would rather be alone. I would rather be all of these things before accepting another bar to build another cage. Every decision I'm going to make now, it is for the life that I want. Um, oh yeah, do not go back. It's not worth it. A lot of us have those types of old bosses. Um, so yeah, and it's nice. And so even on my worst days now, when I'm exhausted or when I'm sick, we have to ask for what we want and take nothing less. Exactly. And it's hard. You have to be willing to hold out. You have to be willing to hold out and make hard choices and get creative and resourceful, because it can get rough and it can look bleak sometimes. But now I'm in a place where even on my worst days when I'm so exhausted or I'm not feeling well, I can still smile to myself and think, wow, but the life that I've built allows me to be gentle with myself on a day like today. Whereas in the past, I would feel those ways and feel like I didn't have support, or like I was being constantly scrutinized, I felt like a whipping post. I felt, like everything that I was doing, it was just so thankless, and I had to perform and I had to endure. It was just very hard. And now, even on days when I'm tired, because I co-parent, so there are times when I'm, doing the solo mom thing when it's my turn. Um, and it can just be long and hard, but I'm just like, but it's by my design. I have my soft things. Everybody in my life, basically, that I interact with on a daily basis is so sweet to me, is very positive, is very accommodating, trust that I'm going to get done the things that I need to get done. And I just love it. Aw, thank you. And you're enough. And to all the men, you're enough. Barbie reference. Anyways, I don't have anything else. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chat, the compliments. Speaking of hands, I have a band-aid on my finger because, and this is so random, I had a hangnail and it got snagged, I think, on my sweater or something. I started bleeding, and that is unfortunate. But former me put a little first aid kit in my car, and that was very smart. And for that, I say thank you, former me. I'm building my comfort zone. My car could be my comfort zone. You enjoy my hand gestures. Thank you. Eric, you have a hand thing? No. Let's see. One therapy for me at the end of a long day is repeating thank you as I shower. That is nice. Do you, if you guys are not familiar, there's a group called Beautiful Chorus. And a friend of mine shared with me one of their songs, and I played that song on repeat over. I ran it into the ground, and then I've expanded to so much of their other music. They have some songs with India Ari. I hope this doesn't get a copyright strike if like, I don't know how YouTube works with that. But the song Breathe It In, that was the first one that I ran into the ground. It's just this over and over. I like it because all their songs are so meditative. And it's just breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it in, let it go. And then it'll add like little ad libs. Breathe it in, let it out. It out, breathe it in, and then it harmonizes, and it is so beautiful, and it takes me back to like my old chorus days. I was a chorus kid in high school. I would have done chorus in college, but I can't sight read that well, and I was pretty intimidated, so I didn't even try out. Maybe if I would have done chorus in college, I would not have been seduced by a cult. I wouldn't have had time for the cult. But they might have convinced me to quit choir. Anyway, all roads lead back to my cult origin story. Am I a pianist? I am not, but I've been told since I was very little that I have pianist hands. This live stream has taken a turn to randomness. But okay guys. Well, is it Capera? Capira? I don't know if I'm saying it. I'm into deep breathing and meditation by way of the Osset Society. I'm not familiar, and please forgive me if I, one, butchered your name, and two, butchered the name of the society, but I do lots of deep breathing as well. Well, message retracted. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I have a little one with me tonight. I want to go spend some time. It was lovely having you here. If you're not subscribed, please do. I'd love to see you again. If not, I get it. But everybody enjoy your weekends and seek out your comfort zone.